Tuesday, September 20, not 22nd, September 2nd. Getting hooked up here on, I'm getting hooked up here on TikTok. I'm also live streaming on my YouTube channel. And what TikTok does is they usually notify, they send the thing out. I don't think YouTube does that. But I have software when I'm doing these live streams. I've been here every day now, actually for over a month. I started doing this in the middle of July. Good morning, Kev, or Crazy Kev. What do people call you? And TikTok sends out a notification to people that I've gone live. And I don't believe that YouTube does that. So if you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Happy Tuesday. It's September 2nd. Yesterday, Monday was Labor Day in the States. I was still here. And if whether you're in the States or you're outside of the United States, but most kids are back to school now. Good morning, Angie. Good morning, Matt Box. Is that what people call you? Good morning, Cindy. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Anybody that is a football or a baseball fan on here? Both. Actually, my team, the Philadelphia Phillies, played last night. We won. It was tight. They're in Milwaukee. They are going to make it in the playoffs, but what that exactly that's going to look like, we won't know till their last game is September 28th. Good morning, Nancy. Good morning, Tamala. Good morning, Joe Ellen. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Love to know why you're on social media. I was just talking and saying I am a baseball and football fan, and actually football starts on Thursday. I'm wondering if there's anybody else on here. My team played last night. We won. We are on our way to the playoffs, but nobody will really know exactly what that looks like till the end of the month. Good morning, Lynn. Good morning, Aletha. Good morning, Mark. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're in social media. I do online marketing, making money from home, and I show other people how to do the same thing. Actually, this month is 14 years I've been doing this. I haven't worked a job in over 9. I had the job that I lost my job. That's how I got into this. I found myself drowning in $250,000 of debt. I was broke, unemployed, and in foreclosure. I was being sued, and I started. I didn't know anybody, so I went to Google. I started searching, make money online. I don't even know how I knew how that people were making money on the internet. I think it was God's telling me people are making money on the internet. So I went to Google. I searched. I bought a website. They sent me a 3-page PDF with how to set up pay-per-click ads, which I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have training. I didn't have a system. I started setting up pay-per-click ads. I spent $3,000 on that. And then whatever I spent on the website, which I don't even remember, I did that for a year, and I was sending traffic to a replicated website, which you never want to do. And I didn't make any money. And then I ended up on Facebook one night. I saw an ad that said 100% commissions. I joined that company. That company's not around anymore. It went out of business. In fact, good morning, Cheryl. Good morning, Ann. In fact, I've been involved with like 16 companies. I'm probably missing a few that are no longer around. They're out of business. And there's different business models. I've done network marketing. I've done affiliate marketing. I've done high ticket affiliate marketing. I've had some of my own products. And I picked choosing digital marketing because you make 100% profit, which is direct to you. And if you're doing affiliate marketing, whether it's high ticket or not, or network marketing, you can't do that because you're sharing the profits with people. And with network marketing, you're not just sharing the profits with the company, the person that signed you. Every time you make money, they make money. So you're not getting on the profits with digital marketing. What I'm doing, it's 100% profit direct to me, to my Stripe account. Stripe allows me to withdraw up to $500 every day. And that money, actually, it only takes 15 minutes to hit my bank account, which I love. To give you an example, when I was doing high ticket affiliate marketing, somebody bought something from me that came through my link, and what it was $25,000. I made 27% of that, which is 6,200, which is great. I made that in a day. I woke up to that. That's more money than I made in a month when I was still working a job, but over 18,000 went with to the company. So I just decided I'd rather make 100% profit and it comes direct to me. And every affiliate program out there, every network marketing company, they have a terms and they tell you when they're going to pay you. Yeah, if anybody would like, if you'd like my live, I really appreciate it. Whether you're on my TikTok account or you're on my YouTube channel, I really would appreciate that. It helps my accounts out. And yeah, and if anybody wants to do, thanks, Ann, I appreciate that. That really just helps my account out. So I have been doing this, and I had a two for 14 years. I haven't worked a job in over nine. I had a 2 to 3 hour commute to the job that I lost. And I don't miss that at all, spending like 2 to 3 hours a day just in your car to get there. And then you're spending at least another 40 hours at the job. And you don't have, you're exhausted. And I was exhausted by the time I get home. You don't have much time for anything else. Some people, and I've done this too, I've worked two jobs. I know there's some people that have worked as many as three. You're so exhausted by the time you get home, you don't have any time to do anything or spend time with your kids or do anything that you want to do. We have somebody in our community, she worked three jobs. She's a single mom. I mean, it was taking her three jobs to make enough money to support her family. And I know how that goes and it sucks. And if I've been broke, if you've ever been broke, and she actually has been able now since she started this, she quit all three jobs. She's not working a job. She's working from home now. She's got more time. We have a blueprint we're using that you can work 2 hours a day. You can get it down to 2 hours a day, but there is work involved. Anybody that's making money, they're coachable, they're consistent, they show up every day, they put in the work. Because if you're not coachable, if you're not consistent, you're not putting in the work, you'll never make any money. And I'm just being real. So if you're going to go join something, if you're going to buy a course or a program, if you're not going to go through it and implement it, I mean, execution is key. You're wasting your money. And I've seen a ton of people in this industry spend money and never do anything. I had somebody, she bought something from me. It was $179 a month. She paid that for 2 years. And with that particular thing, and the company's not around anymore, I could log into my back office and I could see she never logged in for 2 years. And that was costing her $179. She never used it. And then after 2 years, I guess she kept seeing her bank statements and decided to cancel it. But I find that fascinating. I mean, anytime you want to learn something new, you're going to have to invest time or money into it. But I see people who buy stuff and they don't do anything. I've seen people spend tens of thousands of dollars and they don't do anything. I find it fascinating. I mean, if you want to spend $10,000 and just come hang out, that's cool. But I didn't start this because I just wanted to hang out. I mean, I lost my job. I was broke, unemployed, in foreclosure. I was drowning in $250,000 of debt, and I had no idea how I was going to get myself out of this mess. I couldn't find a job. At the time I lost my job, people were getting 1,500 resumes for one position. And if they even ended up calling you, asking you if you wanted to come in for an interview, I mean, I think I had 3 interviews in a year. I never had a problem getting a job, but the job market was terrible. Now it's actually totally opposite. Just about every place I walk into, they're shorthanded. My birthday was on Saturday. We went out to dinner, and actually it was Sunday. We were sitting in the restaurant, and the waitress who was waiting on us, there were a couple empty tables that people had left. She was doing the busboy stuff. She was cleaning up the tables, getting off the dirty dishes and stuff, and then bringing out, new silverware and all that, because they're shorthanded. And she's, running back, doing that, and then waiting. She was waiting our table, and then a bunch of, other tables that were around. So thank you. Is it Suzlyn? Thank you for liking my live. I appreciate it. She was doing that too. So people are still shorthanded. I mean, today you can go out and you get a job basically doing anything, even if you've never done it before, because they'd end up hiring you because they're so shorthanded. But when I lost my job, that wasn't the case. And things like Uber and DoorDash, which they weren't around when I lost my job, because you could drive Uber today, get paid today. If you don't have a car, they'll help you get one that you can use. They operate in 70 countries. So chances are that are pretty good that they're near you. You could do that, because I have so many people that they tell me they're broke. And the second thing you can do with that is stop saying you're broke. because what you plant in your mind, you're going to get. So if you keep saying that, start by letting those words roll off your lips. Don't say you're broke. Don't say you don't have the money. Don't say you can't afford it. Learn to change your words, because you have to master your mind. If you don't master your mind, then it will master you. Instead of saying that you don't have the money, if you need $500, say, how can I come up with $500? And if you go to YouTube and you search The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale, I listened to that like every day for a year. The first time I heard it, I thought it was so profound. Go start listening to that. It's a video. There's a bunch of them on YouTube. You start listening to that every day and program your mind, because what you say, you're planning in your mind. If you're saying you're broke, you're going to get more of that. If you're saying you can't do something, you're going to get more of that. And stop saying that. Don't let the words roll off your lips. And I can't tell you, I mean, after I learned that, how many times I've done that when I needed money. You're saying you listen to Hay House? Do they have a podcast or something? I mean, I know what Hay House is, but do they have a podcast? I didn't know that if they do, or what exactly are you listening to? Good morning, Rosanna. Good morning, John. Good morning, Monica. If you're jumping on, good morning, Tracy. Good morning, Rosanna. Thank you for liking the live, Rosanna. I really appreciate it. Good morning, Madeline. Let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're on social media. And this is so funny, because now I've been doing these now for like over a month. Whenever I say, why are you, yes, YouTube. Oh, they're on YouTube. Do they have a podcast? I mean, I know I've heard of Hay House, but, and I'm pretty sure they have a YouTube channel. They got a Facebook page. When I say that, why are you on social media? Like hardly anybody answers. And I do believe that most of you're jumping on these lives, and it's not just mine. You're jumping on other people's lives. You're looking for a way to make money from home, or you've been trying and you're not getting the results that you want. And on YouTube shows me the number of people that are on, but unless people comment, I don't know who's on. TikTok does show me, because I can see, it shows me the names, like Jenna just joined, Jorge, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that, just live. Just me just joined. They show me that, and if somebody goes off and then they come back on, I can see them coming back on. YouTube does not show me that. And I think a lot of people like jumping on these lives, positive morning affirmations, like jumping on these lives, because you don't have to say anything. You don't have to show your face. You don't have to do anything. You could be laying on your couch, or for all anybody knows, you could be sitting on a toilet with your phone jumping on somebody's live. So there's no accountability. It's very different if you're doing what I'm doing, is live streaming. And I do get on other people's lives, but you can end up spending a lot of time on social media, and you may say, oh, I'm only going to get on for 10 minutes, and then an hour, and you're scrolling. An hour goes by, and then 2 hours go by. Why not be making money? Excuse me. Okay, Spooky on my YouTube channel says, thoughts on femboys. I have no idea what that is. If you'd like to drop in the comments what it is, I've never heard of it, truthfully. What is it? Good morning, Butterfly. Good morning, Chave Greenfield. What do people call you? And I think there's people that I'm seeing, you don't, for whatever reason, you don't want to put your real name and your username when you're on your TikTok account. And then there's how many people that come on here, good morning, Dan, that don't put pictures, they don't put their names on it. I had somebody last week, that a guy messaging me, he didn't have his name on his TikTok account. He didn't have a picture. And he says to me, would you do me a personalized video telling me about yourself and the business, so I can feel more comfortable moving forward? Anybody that's doing this, there's going to be multiple times, and I know how many times I've done this, the times that you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone, because there's no growth in your comfort zone. And he's, messaging me because he needs to know that I'm real and this is real. And he doesn't even have his own name or his own picture on his TikTok account. So it's kind of like, and you're asking me, you want proof of somehow that I'm real. Well, I'm live here every single day, and I don't remember. Well, he didn't have his name, so I don't know. I'm here live every single day. You can't use live stream. You can't use AI for live streams. I guess you could send a substitute, good morning, Heather, good morning, Angel, and ask somebody else to do it for you and say, hey, I'm here for, I'm here for Linda. But you can't, I mean, these kind of things you can't fake. And yeah, there's a ton of fake accounts on social media. I have a bunch of people who have made fake ones on all the platforms I'm on. Instagram, I'm verified, and I never message people. I'll never ask you for money. I'll never ask you to come over on Telegram or WhatsApp. I don't use them. There's a lot of people that do that. They steal my pictures, they steal my videos. And if you want to test to see how an account is fake, if you go look at it, there's something in the username. Like my username on TikTok is the real Linda Bomba. There's no spaces, there's no extra letters, there's no extra numbers or symbols. What they do is there's something extra in the username. So, because there can only be one use, like nobody else can get the username, the real Linda Bomba. There's only one. That TikTok will only give you one. And what they do is they put something else extra in there. That's how you can tell if it's a fake account. And some of them, they do get, I mean, when I look at them, they have a decent amount of followers. They've stolen content. They take my videos. They take, the image on my thing and put it and set up an account. But that's how you can, if you're not sure. The other thing, well, on Instagram, I am verified. If somebody's verified, it's a real account because we pay for that. And these people that set up these fake accounts, if the social media platforms all started charging people for having accounts, we probably see a lot less fake accounts, because I don't think these people are going to pay money to set up a fake account so they can go see if they can rip people off. But what they do is they message people. I don't do crypto. I don't do Forex. They'll say something like that and want you to invest some money in it, and they'll tell you they'll do everything and they'll take care of it for you, because I've had people do it to myself. So be careful out there. It's not me. I don't message people and ask for money or anything else. If I do, it's because you've commented on one of my videos and you want more information to get my freebie or to get more info. But I don't, and that's what they do. And unfortunately, there's a ton of that on social media today. And there's just people taking advantage of people. I mean, there's people I'm friends with Facebook that their accounts have gotten hacked, and the person that hacked their account will message people on Facebook, and they'll say, and this is somebody I know, and it was a fake, person. She put a voicemail. She said, if you send me like $1,500 now, you'll get $18,000 in your Cash App in 15 minutes. That's ridiculous. And I knew that it wasn't her, although she did hack someone's account, and somebody I am friends with, and people, they do that. And it's really unfortunate. And if you talk, and I've talked to Meta about the fake accounts, you can report them, but they don't do anything about it. So reporting them, I don't even waste the time reporting them, because Meta, if you're on Facebook or Instagram, they're not going to do anything. And I don't even know if TikTok has an option that you can report them. I usually block them from me, so I don't see them, but there's a ton of them. Good morning, Lori. Good morning. Ooh, raw and real. What do people call you? Good morning, Maddie. What are you doing on social media? Where are you coming in from? I live about 40 minutes outside the city of Philadelphia. I'm in the Northeast. I'm not far from New York. I drive to New York in about 2 hours from where I'm at. But I do believe, because when I say to people, why are you on social media? I'm on social media because I do online marketing, making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. This month, I've been doing this for 14 years. I haven't worked a job in over 9. I lost my job. I couldn't find another one. And I ended up being broke, unemployed, in foreclosure. I was being sued. My brother passed away, who I adored. It was a really hard time. If I hadn't found this industry, I probably would have lost my house. This industry and digital marketing, and anybody that takes this seriously, it can completely change your life. Good morning, Rose. Good morning, Joe. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Anybody want to tell me why you're on social media? Good morning, Beth. I do believe that most of you are on here and you're just not jumping on my lives. You're jumping on other people's lives. You're looking for ways to make money from home, or you've been trying and you're not getting the results you want. So you're from Chicago, Ann. Okay, thanks for saying that. Texas. You're trying to figure it out, and you've been trying to do it and it's not working. And you're not just jumping on my live, because most of us that are doing this a lot, and we're seriously doing this, we're doing live stream is a strategy. I haven't done much of it. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Mary Grace. I I mean, I've done lives before, but I haven't done them on TikTok like this consistently because I've been here every day now for over a month. I committed to doing these for an hour. If you have a question, drop it in the comments. If I can answer it, I'd be glad to answer it. If you're trying to figure something out, I'd be glad to do a training on one of these. Somebody asked me to do one about social media marketing, and I did. I did another one about email marketing because if you're using social media and you're not using email marketing, um, good morning, Almel. Is that what people call you? If I didn't pronounce that correctly, I apologize. Good morning, Sandy. Um, if that's why most of us are on here. Um, I'm good this morning. Thank you. How are you? Good morning, Karen. So I've been doing these, and if you've got something I can help you with, I can't, I mean, if I've done it, I'd be glad to do a training. If I haven't, I can probably give you a resource. I know a lot of things. I don't know everything, but I've met a lot of people since I've been doing this. And I probably, if I can't do it, I can probably give you a resource for something you're trying to figure out. Because I don't think it's ethical to train or teach in something you haven't done. You're from the Philippines, okay. What time is it in the Philippines right now? It's about where I'm at, it's 10:10 a.m. I'm on Eastern Standard Time. Good morning, Cindy. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. If anybody's got a question or you're trying to figure something out, I do online marketing, making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. And whether you're on social media, if you've got a cause you're supporting, you got a message you want to get out, you have an online, offline business, and you're trying to get in front of people, there's over 5 billion people on social media. Good morning, Robert. So you're about 12 hours ahead of me. There's a company I do business with that they're in Singapore, and Singapore is like 12 hours ahead of us. So it's like it's after 10 p.m. there too. So you guys must be in the same time zone. Good morning, Robert. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. If anybody's got a question, if I can answer it, I'd love to help you out. If I can give you a resource. Somebody was on my life. He wanted to know about CPA marketing, which I know it is, but I've never really done it, never really made money from it. I think you need to have done it, made money to do a training on it. I did give him some resources because if I don't know something and it's not something I've done, I'm pretty sure I can give you a resource. I know a lot of things, and there are a lot of resources out there, but and the program I've been learning from and how many different mentors I've had, we teach you the right way to use social media and build your email list. Because if you're using social media for anything and you're not using email and you're not sending people to a page that's either a capture page, a website, a landing page, a squeeze page, they're all the same thing where you can get the person's email address. I did that for the whole first year. I did this because I didn't know. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have training. And the problem with that is you're only letting that person and a chance for you to communicate with them once. Because once they go off your page, they're gone. You want to capture their email address. You want to get them on your email list. You want to build an email list because that's the only asset online you really own. You can lose your social media accounts at any time. I've lost a bunch of them. You don't own them, you don't control them. And yeah, if you're building an email list, you need a tool called an autoresponder, which most of them you can start for free. Like the one I use, they give you up to 2,000 subscribers, but after that, you have to start paying for it. Anybody, if you're serious about this, you want to build an email list, get people on that's an asset. And you may have heard the money's in the list. That's true because that's something you own, you control. You learn how to send emails out, and you attach a series of automated emails to your website or your capture page, and they're going out for you automatically 24/7 on your behalf. And I know when I first started this, I did the whole thing with the website I bought for a year. I ended up on Facebook. And the first people I met, I saw an ad for 100% commissions. I joined that company. They were telling me, oh, you don't need an autoresponder. And that's not true. You need an autoresponder. Out of all the tools I use, that's the most essential. And yeah, eventually, and you want to be building that email list, getting more people on your list. And after you get through, some are 500. The one I use is 2,000. You have to start paying for it. It's a cost of doing business. It's an asset. And then the more people you get on there, you learn how to write emails, learn how to communicate with them. In fact, I had somebody, she got on my email list last October 2024. Patty, did you steal my profile? Because you've got you're at marking my username, and that there's so many people on stealing my account. So you want to build your email list. It's the only thing you own. And yeah, the autoresponder, after you get to a certain point, you're going to have to start paying for it. That's the cost of doing business. And anytime you're going to invest and learn something new, you've got to invest time and money into it. Um, yeah, this is totally legit. I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't. And I know when I first started doing this, I lost a lot of money. Unfortunately, that does exist in this industry, and it gives the whole industry a bad rap. That's why you want to do your due diligence. If you're looking at something, find out about the company, find out about yes, we earn 100% profit. Anytime you get your own website, you pay for that. It's $39 one time. You get your own website. Anytime anybody comes through your website and buys, you make money. I mean, this is sales, but you're doing every stuff online. Yeah, and I've been doing this for 14 years now. I haven't worked a job in over 9. Um, and this is how I make money. And there's tons of us on here that, the people you see making money, it's because they're coachable, they're consistent, they put the work in, and this is work. Yes, you can get it down to 2 hours a day, but there is work involved. Um, Good morning, MCLN2. What do people call you? I'm on two things here. I'm talking to YouTube at the second moment. She says, great, growing the audience, keep it up, not missing a day, amazing advice. Well, thank you. And I am giving out free value here. I have personally spent over $100,000 getting around different people, learning from them, because success leaves clues. You can't do this by yourself. And I did tell you the first year I did this, I didn't know anybody. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have training. I didn't have a proven system. And I spent a year and $3,000, and then whatever I paid on the website, and I didn't make any money. I knew I had to get around somebody that had done what I wanted to do. I ended up on Facebook, and the first people I met were telling me stuff like, you don't need an autoresponder, and to go spam your link in the Facebook groups, which you might get some leads and you might get some sales, but they really are the worst prospects. We do teach you organic, free marketing to use social media. In fact, my mentor, good morning from the Philippines, my mentor has made now $8 million doing this without spending a dime on paid advertising. We do teach you that in this program. You can do paid advertising. I have done some paid advertising in the past, and if you don't know what you're doing, and you don't have a good paid traffic source, you can spend a lot of money and not get a return on it. And there's a way to go about getting good paid traffic. Jen, if you're saying yes, if you want to know more, I have a free PDF that outlines the blueprint we're using. Come right up here to the top of where my profile is. There's a link there, payudaily.com. That's my website. Go put your email address in, watch the 2 videos, read the page. You'll get an email from me with a link in it with the PDF. You can download and save it. That's yours to keep. It's free. That outlines the blueprint we're using. Good morning, Ryan. Good morning, Jack. You can try this on yourself by yourself, but I'm sharing with you. And I paid quite a bit of money. I spent $3,000 in pay-per-click ads. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have training. I didn't have a proven system, and I didn't make a dime the first year I did this. So I can save you some. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Judy. I can save you some money, time, and effort. But if you want to go and take something that's free, and free really is the most expensive choice of all. We're starting another 90-day run that my mentor's doing, and I'm going to post a video on TikTok about it more, but it's a 90-day run where she's going to be mentoring people. And we had one thing yesterday, breaking people out to give you an accountability partner. If that's something you feel it's helpful. Good morning, Nelson. But we're going to go through, and we're into the last 4 months of this year. And how do you want to end this year? And do you want to be better off or worse off? And I know, I got an email this morning from somebody, how many people either on social media or they get on my email list and they tell me that they're broke. And again, my advice for one thing is stop saying it, because you're going to just get more of it. What you plant in your mind is what you get. Um, but most people, and it's your birthright to be wealthy. God didn't want anybody to be broke or in poverty. It's my birthright to be wealthy. It's your birthright to be wealthy. But diligence creates wealth. Laziness creates poverty, but this is something anybody can do. It's a simple, we've got a step-by-step blueprint you're using, but you do have to do, work and look. I'm academic scholar. I'm not. I went all through school, basically high school, grade school, flunking everything. And I was 32. I got diagnosed with a learning disability, ADD, and my reading comprehensions like at 11th grade level. And I was taking college courses, never understanding the textbooks. And I was in therapy at the time, and the therapist was saying, and I had a test, and it was an American history course. She said, "What did you get on your test?" And I said, "I got a 52." And she started saying to me, she goes, "Something's wrong." She goes, "You studied." She goes, "If you didn't study, I could see that you flunked." And if it wasn't for her, it took her a year to convince me. I went and got tested with a woman. She had a doctorate degree in education. She gave me all kinds of tests. I was with her all day. That's how I found out I have ADD, a learning disability, and my reading comprehensions at 11th grade level. And she was saying to me, that's why when you try to read a college level textbook, you can't understand it. And she gave me some suggestions. One of them was take Ritalin, which was an immense help. I also got double the time to take tests, which that gave me more time to go back and correct my answers and get better grades. And I passed the test in American history for the first time. I ended up finishing my bachelor's degree, magna cum laude. And it was really because of that, the help. And I ended up seeing a psychiatrist to get the Ritalin, because a lot of doctors don't want to write prescriptions for it. And we agreed that I would take it for as long. When I finished school, I would go off of it. But I decided I wanted to go back and get another degree, then we'd have another conversation about him prescribing it. But doctors really don't like to prescribe it. The pharmacy gets all weird. They can only give you one prescription. They can't put refills on it. That's how, it's more abused than Valium. And if somebody that takes that and you don't have ADD, it's like speed. So it has a street value. And there are a lot of other drugs for that, but I finally got an answer, because I have a twin sister that always made payroll, honor roll, and I couldn't compete. My grades were awful. Good morning, Ann. Good morning, Pablo. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're on social media. I do online marketing, making money from home. I teach other people how to do the same thing. I've been doing this for 14 years. I haven't worked a job in 9. And the job, I lost my job. That's how I got started with this. The job I lost, I was spending 2 to 3 hours commuting. I do not miss that. My commute now is literally up a flight of stairs. My office is in a room, upstairs in a room. Thank you, Pablo. You're from Jamaica. Good morning. Yeah, and I'm just sharing my story. I lost my job. I couldn't find another one. I was broke, unemployed, in foreclosure. I found myself drowning in $250,000 of debt. I couldn't find a job. At one point, I was cutting mold out of food. I pissed a lot of people off because I didn't have the money. And I'm grateful I'm not in that situation now. But now I'm dealing with 2 cancer diagnoses. So it's pain that pushes me. And the thing that's cool with this, not only can you make money, but you can help somebody else. You can't help somebody who's not willing to put the work in, because I don't have pixie dust that I can sprinkle on people and you get everything you need and you start making all this money. It doesn't work like that. The people you see making money, I'm no exception. We put the work in. I've cut over 5,000 videos. I lost 10 TikTok accounts. One of them I had over 200,000 people. I lost 3 Instagram accounts. Somebody hacked my account, deleted it. Instagram came back and suspended the other 2. I lost those. So last June, I started the TikTok account you're on. The ones of you on my TikTok account started posting on that 3 videos last June. Did the same thing on my Instagram account. I just broke 100,000 followers. Within the last week on TikTok, I got monetized. So TikTok is paying me to live stream. TikTok is paying me to post videos. I'm close to 100,000 followers on Instagram. But I've been posting on both of these accounts 3 videos a day since last June. Um, the consistency is really important. Most people I talk to, they're not consistent. If you're having trouble being consistent, you got to dig deeper about why you're doing it. And me, it's pain. Dr. Michael Beckwith said, pain will push you until your vision pulls you. And that's been 100% true for me. I just start thinking about some things and having dealing with 2 cancer diagnoses. I don't want to burden anyone. I want to be able to stay in my house. That's and that costs money, and I don't know how this is going to go. There's not an MD in the world that can tell me, because truthfully, they don't know, and it's different for everybody. And now I got 2 things that I'm being watched for. So pain pushes me, and once you start making some money, you can help people. But you can't mentor someone who's not in action. Um, Art with Miss R. What do people call you? Start digging in your butt, twin. Not really sure what you mean about that, but yeah, and I do have a twin sister. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Do people call you Art, or they call you something else? That's somebody commenting on my YouTube channel. I am on my YouTube channel and my TikTok account. I'm live streaming in both places. I have software that lets me do that, which is really cool. When I'm done and I end this on YouTube, they'll just upload this. It becomes a piece of content, the recording. And unless I delete it, it stays up there. I really don't have to do anything, but that's the software that's helping me do that. And the software is allowing me to live stream in more than one place. So I only have to do this once, and I'm being broadcasted in 2 places. So that was Art with Miss R saying that, guys. Start digging in your butt, twin. And I'm gonna write back, and I'm gonna put it. I'm on YouTube. Laugh out loud. Thanks. That's humorous. I don't know what you mean by that. So if you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know. Okay, Wang, you're saying yes. If you want to know what I'm doing, it's digital marketing. I make 100% profit. Come right up here. Come to the top of my profile. So there's a link there. It's payudaily.com. That's my website. Go ahead and put your email address in, watch the 2 videos, read the page. You'll get an email from me with a link in it that's got a PDF that talks about the blueprint we're using. You can download and keeping that, and keep that. That's yours. It's free. Check it out. If you got questions, respond back to the email. You're from Nigeria. You've been looking for a remote job. I just want something around. Okay, I don't have remote jobs. That's not what I do. I do put some videos up. I haven't put anyone's up like that recently. About remote jobs. They're very hard to get. I know before COVID, Amazon had at least 100 on their website. They were mostly customer service jobs. The last time I looked, and that was a while ago, they only had 1. So if you want a true remote job where you're working for somebody, they are really hard to get, and you're probably not going to be able to get one unless you've got some special skill or experience that company's after, that they would hire you for that. Because now, since COVID, everybody wants to be home, and there's so many people looking for remote jobs, and they're really hard to get. So if you can't, unless you have some special skill or experience that they're looking for, you're probably not going to be able to find one. And I mean, what I'm doing is not a job; it's a business. I don't report to anyone. I'm not on anyone's payroll. I make my own schedule. I'm not answerable. I don't have to report to anybody. If I don't want to work, I don't have to. And I've been doing this for 14 years. I haven't worked a full-time job in over 9. And you can replace, if you're on a 9 to 5 job, and you want to replace it, or maybe you just want to make some extra money, this can do it. We've had how many people in our community? We have over 55,000 people that quit their full-time jobs. We had a woman who was working 3 jobs. She's a single mom. The 3 jobs were not making, she couldn't make ends meet with her kids. She never had time for them or anybody else. And now she's quit all 3 of those jobs. She started this, and she's job free now. It gives you total autonomy. I don't have to ask anybody. Good morning, Norma. I don't have to ask anybody for time off, which is one of the things that's wonderful about this, because you're not reporting to anybody. And if you've got a job and you need a day off, you got to ask. In fact, the job I lost, I used to have to fill a form out. If you want a week's vacation, you'd have to fill a form out. And I don't have to do that anymore, and it's wonderful. So you get time, it's just not about the money, it's the time freedom. And the other thing you get is peace, and it's a peace beyond understanding. And if any of you are Christians, I'm a Christian. You probably know more what I'm talking about, but um, yeah, because we're living in a world that's passing away from lust. If everybody made a point every day to go out and find someone you could help, the world would be a better place. Okay, 5 minutes. What do people call you? There's a piece that you get that's beyond understanding. You get decide how much money you want to make. You make your own hours. You have more time to do the stuff you want, and you get peace. And the peace, I can't put a price tag on that. Um, and I used to spend 2 to 3 hours commuting every day, and I don't miss that. I was on Interstate I-95. If you've ever been in the Northeast, and driving, most of my commute was on that highway, and it can be really stressful. And if there's something else going on, weather, an accident, police activity, um, the traffic can be worse. But I do not miss that. And my commute literally is a minute up my stairs. Gigi, you have a miserable commute. I totally get that. Good morning, Betty. I do not miss that. Scott, good morning. That's another thing about this, that you don't have to, you're not sitting and waiting. I know there was one night when I was still at that job. We were getting a little bit of snow. It wasn't even an inch on the ground. I left at 4 o'clock, and I didn't get home till after 7. I mean, going really slow. The traffic was backed up. I think a lot of other people decided to leave too at that time. And we were all on the same road going in the same direction. And I didn't get home till after 7. I mean, that was exhausting because it was snowing. You're welcome, man. Thanks for jumping on. Yeah, if you go to my website, payudaily.com, or just up in my profile, the website's there. You can check it out. Yeah, I mean, it's this industry has been life changing for how many people. Good morning, Carl. Not just me. And the people you see making money, it's because they're coachable, they're consistent. They showed up, they did the work, because there is work involved with this, but you can get this down to 2 hours a day. If you're new to social media, I recommend you pick one platform to start, and stay on it till you master it. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, so I'm on multiple platforms. And right now I am live streaming in 2 places. There are benefits for me to do both. The cool thing about YouTube and the software, when I end this live stream, they'll automatically upload this whole recording on my YouTube channel as a piece of content. And that'll stay up there as long as I leave it up. TikTok only keeps them for 30 days. And it looks like to me that it's not the whole recording. They break it up, and they break it up how they want. So yeah, because of technology, and we have a lot of it, and AI is another one. I mean, I got an AI course in June. I started using that. And most of the videos I've been posting on TikTok and Instagram, I'm using AI. So yeah, and AI is not going away, and it's not that AI is going to replace you. It's the people that learn how to use AI will replace you. Good morning, jobless listener. What do people call you? Good morning, Blaze. Yeah, I'm psychologically unemployable. So even if I mean, I don't want a job, I don't need a job, and I'm in a place where I'll never work for anybody again. But I'm psychologically unemployable. I mean, I started working full time when I was 17. I didn't go to college straight out. So I had more years in before a lot of people that went to college. Good morning, Rod. Good morning, Scan Lightnings. What do people call you? Good morning, Thong. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Love to know where you're on social media. And I'm just saying, I do online marketing, making money from home. And I teach other people how to do the same thing. I've been doing this for 14 years. I haven't worked a full-time job in 9. I don't want to work one. And the job that I lost when I got started with this, I had a 2 to 3 hour commute every day. So with if you're working 40 hours and then you slap on, 2 to 3 hours, you're spending another 10, 15, maybe even more than that a week at a job. And if anybody gets now today's Tuesday, I call them the Sunday night blues for people that really don't like their job. Good morning, Stacy. gets later in the day on Sunday, the weekend's winding down, and this we had people had a long weekend because of Labor Day, and you're dreading the thought of going back to your job on Monday. Um, and I didn't hate my job, but I didn't love it. And I know what that feeling's like, but there's a lot of people out there. In fact, the therapist I saw, she told me she had a friend that she hated her job so much, she would call out sick every Monday. And if she keeps doing that, I mean, they're probably going to fire her. I mean, no company's going to put up with that, you calling out sick like every Monday. It's about the company and what they need. It's never about you. And I have found that to be true. After working many years for somebody else, you're building someone else's empire, and you're on social media. How much time do you spend scrolling on social media? You might as well get paid for it. Good morning, Noreen. Good morning, Jam Lear. People call you Jam Lear. There's that, um, or do they call you something else? So, I mean, this industry can change your life. I've seen two people. I mean, I've met so many amazing people. I've seen two different people. Good morning, Claudia. Good morning, Sandy. That one of them he made, and I know this sounds crazy, it's 100% true. He made $100,000 in a day, and another guy he made over $100,000 in a day, and they're both highly skilled. Um, and they've been doing this for over 20 years. And this really, it's mindset and skill set, and you have to master both. I mean, I've mastered some skills, and losing two accounts, I know what to do. So I knew what to do, because if I wanted to get back on those platforms and use them, which I did, um, I know what to do. I've mastered some skills. I can build another account up because I've mastered that. Good morning, Diana. Good morning, Joash. What do people call you? Let me know in the comments where you're coming in from. Anybody here a football or baseball fan? I was talking about that in the beginning. I'm a Philadelphia Phillies and Eagles fan. Well, the Eagles play Thursday night. The Phillies played last night and won. They're in Milwaukee. They are going to be going to the postseason again. I hope we go a little further because they're hungry, and we haven't won a World Series. We've been in the playoffs the last 3 years, but we haven't won a World Series. I've been fans of both of them since I was about 8 years old. Good morning, Joe. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. And actually, because of this business, I have more time. I mean, baseball, there's so many games. There's one in the afternoon, I can watch it. When I was working a job, I couldn't do that. Now, I did have headphones. I will admit, I did have earplugs, headphones in my desk that I would listen to the game on, the radio, put my headphones in while I was at my desk. But it's there. I mean, you can do that if you're in your car, you can put it on the radio, but it's not the same as actually seeing the game. Good morning, Noel. Good morning, Steph. If you're jumping on, let me know what you're coming in from. It's not the same. And now I have the time that I can do that. I can watch the pregame shows. I've seen most of their games, not all of them, because baseball, there are 160 of them. Good morning, Linda. But they do have games. Well, they have them during the day on Sundays, but during the week, a lot of times they just had their last one now, because their last game of the season is the 20th of September. And actually, we have tickets. We're going the 27th. It's a Saturday. That's the last two games of the year, and then it'll be October, and they will be in the playoffs, but we just don't know who's going to be where. So I have time to do that. And that's one of the things that I like to do, that I feel passionate about. Movies is another one. And I know during COVID, I don't know how a lot of the movie theaters stayed open, but I mean, there's nothing like seeing a movie on the big screen. Good morning, Sharon. Good morning, Mrs. D348. What do people call you? If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. If you would like my live, whether you're on my TikTok or my YouTube channel, I'd really appreciate it. It helps my account out. I know there were some other people that were on that they were liking it. I appreciate that. Thank you. That does help out both of my accounts, because YouTube, TikTok, they're all a business, and they want you to keep people on the platform. Here's a little tip. If you can get a video that you post that you're getting a lot of likes, a lot of comments, people are watching it, whatever platform it is, they'll push that video out to more people, because to them, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and whatever it is, they see that and they say, oh, people like this. So they push it out. You'll get a lot more views, you get a lot more exposure. But it's the watch time. I mean, not that views aren't important, they are, but the watch time is more important, because whatever platform you're on, they all look at that to see, because that's the way they view good. They think it's good content, so they'll push it out to more people. And you'll probably end up getting followers from that. I mean, I've got a video now that I've got almost 2 million views on it, and 32,000 people have commented on it. I can't keep up with all the comments. I have software on Instagram. I've got software, but that I could use on TikTok. But if you live in the United States right now, they're not giving anybody access because of the whole thing. We don't know what's going to happen with TikTok. President Trump did another 90-day thing, June 19th, and that expires. Actually, it's less than a couple of weeks. Whether he can keep doing that, because no one has come forth that lives outside of China that's interested in buying TikTok. So that seems to be the solution right now, because I was on TikTok in January when it went blank. It went dark for 14 hours, and then he did that 90-day thing and came back on. But there are tons of people on TikTok, and how many people in the US are using TikTok? Good morning, Renee. Good morning, Mrs. D348. What do people call you? There's a lot of people in the United States using TikTok, and if it does get banned, TikTok's going to lose a lot of users. And the software, which it saves me a ton of time, because like Instagram, I've got it set up. I don't answer comments. It does it for me. I mean, you can automate most of this. So yeah, I love automation and leverage. Good morning, Carrie. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. If anybody has any questions, drop in the comments, because I committed to doing these for an hour every day, and we're getting close to the hour now. So if you have a question, drop in the comments. If you have something you're trying to figure out, I'd be glad to do a training on it if it's something I've done. Because I don't think it's ethical to train or teach on stuff you haven't done. If I haven't done it, I don't know. I probably can give you a resource. I know a lot of people. I don't know everything, but I can probably point you to a resource if you're trying to figure something out. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Alan. And if it's something I've done, somebody asked me to do a training on social media marketing, which I did. I did another one about email marketing, because no matter what you're using, no matter what reason you're on social media, if you've got a cause you're supporting, you got a message. I had somebody on here a couple of days ago. She has an organization that helps women who have been victims of domestic violence, and she's using social media. It doesn't matter. I mean, you still got to use social media and use it the correct way. And there's a lot of people on to get on social media. They don't know what they're doing. I can go look at somebody's profile, and they're probably not getting the results that they want. And then there's many of us like me, we use this to make money. And there's people that are entrepreneurs like me. They have their own products. I've got a couple of my own. Some people do their own coaching. People are all on here for a variety of reasons. But if you're using it, you want to learn how to use it the right way. Because if you're not, then you're probably not going to get the results that you want. And there's a lot of people. I mean, I see people send me in my messages a link to something. You never want to send people a link to anything without getting the permission. Good morning, Jason. Good morning, Brett. You want to ask them if you're going to do that. And if you're doing that with family and friends, ask them if they're open to taking a look at something you're doing. I do digital marketing, Jason. I have a product. Well, actually, there's 4 that teaches you how to use social media correctly, teaches you how to build an email list. You make 100% profit. If you've done network marketing or affiliate marketing, you're only making a percentage. I have a 2-hour blueprint we're following. I have a free PDF. If you'd like that, come up to the top, go to my link, payudaily.com. That's my website. Put in your email address, watch the 2 videos, read the page. You will get an email from me with a link with the PDF. You can click on that, download it, save it. It's yours to keep. If you have questions, you can reply back to the email. But that's what I'm doing. You're in the Philippines. This is global. It works no matter where anyone lives in the world. And there are some things out there that aren't global. This is, that was, if you're looking to try to promote something, you want to make sure it's global, because I talk to and see people from all over the world, and you want something in high demand. Because if it's not global and it's only restricted to certain places, there's how many people you could be getting exposure. So you want to make sure it's global, and you want to make sure it's in high demand. And digital marketing is like $1 trillion business, and that's supposed to explode over the next 3 years. It's supposed to triple. So there's plenty for everybody, but I like the 100% profit. It comes direct to me. to whatever merchant account. I use Stripe. Most of the people in our group use Stripe, PayPal, or Square. It goes right to my Stripe account. Stripe lets me withdraw up to $500 every day, and that money only takes 15 minutes to hit my bank account, which is really cool. If you're doing network marketing, affiliate marketing, high ticket affiliate marketing, they're only going to, most of them pay somewhere between 20 and 40%. There's some that are more, they hold, the money goes to the company, they pay it out to whatever schedule they set up. And then if they've got a wallet or you have to use what they're telling you use. And I've done quite a bit of that. And I just decided, like, I was doing high ticket affiliate marketing. I had somebody come through my link. What she bought was $25,000. Now I made 27%, which is 6,200. That's great. I made that in a day. I woke up to that. That is more money than I made in a whole month when I was working a job. But over 18,000, the rest of it went to the company. And it was my work, my effort, all my effort, the same amount of effort. And I decided I'd rather get 100% profit. And I have some of my own products, which I make 100% on that. But when you do have your own products, you got to create it. You got to do customer service. You got to deal with all that. This, I have 100% resale rights. I didn't have to create a product. I don't have to do customer service or any of that. It's digital. There's no shipping. So I like that a lot better, and I'm still making 100%. You don't have to deal with the other things if you've got your own products. So I've been doing this for 14 years. I haven't had a paycheck or a job in 9. I don't miss it. The job I lost, I had a 2 to 3 hour commute, which after a while, I know, and I was so exhausted by the time I got home at night. And you're doing that every single day. And then it could be longer if there's something going on. There were days it took me longer than that. And you don't have time for family. You don't have time to do things you want. And I know a lot of the times I was so exhausted. And some of you, I know there's a guy, Hank, jumped on this the other day. He's working 2 jobs. I've done that too, and it's exhausting. But a lot of people, they need to work more than one job because they can't make ends meet. They can't, they don't have enough money to take care of the family, buy food, pay, and food is continuing to keep going up. I think that's pretty much everywhere. I know where I live, I could go to the store like this week, and next week, if I go buy the same things, it's going to cost me more. The only thing that's really come down recently is gas. I'm not spending as much money to fill my car with gas, but a lot of people are hurting. There's a lot of people. We have over 55,000 people in our community. Some people are looking for a way to make some extra money. We have another woman in our group. She was doing DoorDash, and she made maybe in a whole month 1,000, maybe 1,800 on a good month. And 1,800, she's able to make that. She just has to get 2 sales, and she's making more than she was when she was doing DoorDash. And I've never done DoorDash or Uber or any of that, but I can imagine with the DoorDash, because you have to, well, the store, if it's DoorDash, I think the store fixes the orders, but like Instacart, there's people that do both. They have to go to the store, they get, what the person wants, bag it and all that, and then they take it in their car and they deliver it. And that can be physical and exhausting. I look at it, you could be getting some exercise and you might lose some weight if you wanted to, but that's, and she's doing this now instead of doing DoorDash, which is bringing more money in. She's got more time to herself, and she's not exhausted by doing DoorDash. Thank you, Janine, for liking the live. I really appreciate it. Anybody else that wants to like my live, I appreciate them, whether you're on my TikTok account or you're on my YouTube channel. I am live streaming in 2 places, but I'm here every day. I committed to doing, I started doing these over in July. I've been doing these for over a month now. I'm here every day, 10 a.m. Eastern. If you've got a question or something you need help with, if you want to drop in the comments, I'd be glad to help you. If I can't, if I don't know it, I can probably give you a resource. I can do a training on stuff I've done. I don't think it's ethical to teach or train on something you haven't done. I think you have to know something and have done it to be qualified to train. But a couple of you are asking to come on. Please stop doing that, because you interrupt me, and then TikTok makes me do stuff, and it interrupts me, and it just stops the whole thing, because I got to go do that. If I want to invite somebody, I will. If I do bring like somebody out, it's probably somebody I'm picking that I believe that person can bring value. Good morning, Chrissy. So I'm getting close to an hour. So if nobody has any questions, I am here every day. I'll be back again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time. And anybody, there were a couple of people that asked if you want to get my free PDF and see what I'm doing, go to payudaily.com or just come up right here to the top of my profile. There's a link there, payudaily.com. Put your email address in, watch the 2 videos, read the page. You'll get an email from me with the PDF. You can download and save it. That's yours to keep. If you've got questions, you can respond back to the email. But I've been doing this for 14 years. I haven't had a job in 9, and that 2 to 3 hour commute that I was making at the job I lost, I don't have to do that anymore. So unless anybody has, you've got maybe like 15, 30 seconds to drop a question, or you need help with something, I'm going to end this. I will be back again tomorrow. I'm here every day at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for jumping on. Thank you for liking the video. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you again tomorrow.